In the not too distant future, next Sunday AD, there was a guy named Joel, not too different from you or me.
Hello, I'm Faith, and welcome to Faith's Take, where I talk about anything and everything that I find interesting. And welcome to my review of MST3K, episode 108, The Slime People. After the silly slog that was Robot Monster, we're jumping right into another super cliche monster movie, and this film isn't even as interesting. But let's start at the very beginning, shall we? This is easily the best cold open for the last 3 episodes. Joel gives a quick description of the show that we just got in the theme song yet again, but it's only a couple of sentences, it doesn't sound like he thinks we're watching Nick Jr., and it isn't the only thing going on in the scene. He and the bots have just rolled out of bed, and while Joel and Tom remind me of myself in the morning, Crow is as chipper, bright, and shiny as a little golden robot can be. Once everyone's wide awake, we have our invention exchange, and while Joel seems tame and harmless, the Mats take it to a pretty extreme level even for them.
30 seconds to commercial sign.
Hey, morning, Crow.
I'm Servo.
Hey, good morning, breakfast clubbers. Hey, how you doing? Hey, here's a little morning poem. Birdie with the yellow bill hopped upon my windowsill, cocked his shining eye and said, "What's for breakfast, Grandma?"
Oh, I hate morning bots.
My name is Joel, and I'm the subject of a bizarre movie-watching experiment, and now I guess so are you. Hey, sirs, what's up?
Hey, sirs, what's up? You know what's up. Make with the invention exchange, pasty boy.
This is the thing I invented for people who are studying to be cartoon characters, you know. It's like when a beautiful woman comes by in the cartoons, you go like this.
We came up with cotton candy that screams when you bite it. May I?
Enjoy.
Ow! That's my head! Ow!
Well, what do you think of that, Jolarini?
You're toying with God's blueprint, that's what I think.
Yeah.
Well, Joel, we've got another cinematic compost pile for you called The Slime People.
Oh, it's scabby and bumpy and absolutely hideous.
But first, another space frolic with our bullet-headed friend, Commando Cody.
Enjoy.
And into the theater we go for yet another episode of Commando Cody, and the opening credits have never felt longer. In this offering, titled Hills of Death, we get to see what happened to Cody and his pal after hitting a rogue ambulance. Of course, the episode last week tried to keep the audience in suspense by, you guessed it, editing out the escape. Meanwhile, the goons head to their lunar boss and bring him the cash that they stole in the last episode. Before they can put their plan into action, however, the leader from the moon calls down and orders them to set off a bomb which, through some sort of nature-y science, will cause floods which will lower the Earth's defenses. Sounds like nothing but padding to me, but we'll roll with it.
You think we'll meet them on the road?
Of course you will. You did last week.
Now, if I remember right, Cody's about to collide with the evil good humor man's ice cream car of death.
Bet you an hour of KP they jump.
It's gonna crash into us! Bail out!
Oh, did I say jump? I meant swerve.
Do you have an atomic bomb strong enough to start a volcanic eruption in the Mount Alder crater?
Not on me. Joel, what's the matter with these guys anyway? I mean, they're ready to sell their home planet for some money.
Well, they just don't have any real home planet pride.
You think they have wives and families?
Yeah.
No, I bet they sold them too to pay for those nice suits.
There it goes.
Good shot, right in the wading pool.
Krakatoa, east of Java.
Fentonville, east of Muncie. Hey, you ho-daddies, surf's up!
Somehow, Cody and his scientist friends immediately come to the correct conclusion despite how stupid this all is, and since the goons took a plane from a public airport with their evil moon mission and accidentally left a matchbook with a cafe's name on it, Cody and his friend Ted head to said cafe. Almost as soon as they get there, the crooks just conveniently walk in on them too. And you'll never believe what happens next, can you guess? Yup, it's a fist fight. The goons win the fight by knocking both Cody and Ted out cold, and they decide to take Ted with them, leaving Cody for absolutely no reason whatsoever, as far as I can tell. But I guess it doesn't matter since Ted escapes as quickly as he was nabbed.
That volcano has been dead for years. Took quite a blast to get it going again. An atomic bomb dropped from a plane would seem to be the only answer.
Is right for $200.
The airport manager borrowed these matches from Graber and forgot to give them back. Al's Cafe. That might do us some good.
Especially if you're hungry.
So let's go and look the joint over. Right.
Yeah, crooks are always dropping
anything,
obvious
Joel, we'll give you a
clues
call.
like that. It's really a desperate cry for help, you know.
I don't know their names or anything about them.
Well, if they show up, I wish you'd call me.
Sure, I've got nothing better to do with my miserable life than call you.
Hey, how convenient. Everybody dance!
Gentlemen, I can seat you immediately.
You know, dropping those matchbooks all over town really helped business.
Wake up, Cody. You owe me $400.
Huh?
Good reaction time.
Ted spills what he knows about the gangsters' plans to Cody, who takes to the air in hot pursuit. The gangsters are just sitting ducks waiting for a new car to be brought to them, and they don't even notice the man with a loud fire-spitting rocket on his back. However, they do notice him when he's a few hundred yards away tiptoeing on foot through bushes, but you know what? I'm tired of questioning their lack of logic. Let's just keep going. After some quick gunplay, the villains head through a narrow pass and some boulders. After reaching the top, they've nowhere to go, so one of them hides to get the better of Cody by just hurling a rock at him. It shouldn't shock any of us that this actually works, and Cody transforms into a crash test dummy as he plummets to the ground. Will Cody survive? We'll have to wait till next week to... you know the rest.
We just had a run-in with Cody again. Our car is hot. We'll have to have another one.
We want one with factory air.
They were going up the Clark Mountain Road. I'll use the rocket suit and try to find them. Okay, don't worry about me. I'll come a ride back to town.
I'm fine. You guys just go to the movie without me.
Phone the police and tell them to block the highway on the other side of the mountain.
Right.
Hello, police. Block the mountain on the other side of the highway.
Police headquarters.
Hey, wait a minute, I'm flying! Hey! You know, there's nothing like being in a gunfight with 600 pounds of high-test nitro rocket fuel on your back.
Follow me. Keep low.
Serpentine!
Serpentine. Serpentine. Back and forth, back and forth. Uh-oh, this isn't good. I've seen good before, and it didn't look like this.
When Cody gets here, give yourself up. Try not to get too close to him.
Wet your lips
Don't argue. Do
and
what I
straighten
tell
that
you.
tie.
Montana looks long. He's got a man open. Oh, pass. Pass interference. Oh! Just in time.
Jumping right into the movie, this film wastes no time showing us some slime people in the very first opening shots, though they look less like slime people and more like bizarre lizard fish fusions or something. We then cut to Tom Gregory trying to get clearance to land his plane in LA. They tell him forget it thanks to all the fog in the air, but he lands anyway, because disobeying safety procedures in a monster movie always ends up going well. Searching the airfield, he finds that not a single person is there when a car pulls up. The strangers introduce themselves as a scientist named Professor Galbraith and his two daughters, Lisa and Bonnie. While resistant at first, Tom jumps in with them to head to who knows where, so they can fill him in on all the disappearances. After Bonnie gives a Cliff Notes version of the slime people invasion and why they're the only people left in the area, the group finds a car that's run off the road with all of the passengers dead.
Hi, I'm a slime person, and this is our story. Come on along with me. Sure, we're not much to look at, but we's good people.
Airport 77, the other guy's story.
LA controls, come in LA. Do you read me?
Oh, he's in LA. That explains the bad air.
Get out of LA area. Divert north. Get out of LA. Divert north.
Oh, brother, this must be the granddaddy of all storms.
Ooh, it's the granddaddy, all right, dude. Really gnarly fog happening. You know, he sure doesn't take directions very well. He wasn't supposed to land in LA at all. I think he deserves whatever he's getting.
Joel, I think we're in for a long, hard ride with this film.
Yeah.
Hi, this is the human race. We're not in right now. Please speak clearly after the sound of the bomb.
Well, looks like it's just you and me, little darling. Kind of like it that way, actually.
Come in.
Huh?
That's okay, I've got a ride.
Were you able to contact anyone on your plane radio?
Hey, it's not such a plane radio.
But they died. Now, wait a minute. I've got to check my plane in.
Mr. Gregory, I'm sure you realize there's nobody here.
Mr. Gregory, will you please get in?
There's out of order. Will somebody please tell me what's happened?
Well, you signed a contract that your agent couldn't get you out of, and,
Would you like to tell me?
Well, first the slime people came, and then the whole army came to fight them, and they lost. Then the slime men built a big wall, but before it got hardened, Los Angeles was evacuated, and everybody's gone but the
She
slime
is
men.
hopped up on sugar or something.
Look over there.
oh God, it's
What
the
we are
Watts
faced
district.
with Now,
Hey, can we borrow your car?
Look at them.
It's all right.
All right.
Back on the bridge, we see Joel and the bots having a court case with Servo defending Commando Cody, while Crow charges him with various crimes against the audience. After a bit of back and forth, Crow asserts that Cody is not even real when Servo gets all Miracle on 34th Street on us.
All rise, hear ye, the Honorable Judge Joel presiding.
Your Honor, the bots will prove that the defendant, Commando Cody, is guilty of the following felony charges: failure to follow a proper flight plan, reckless endangerment of the public, breaking the laws of physics and gravity, and acting as an officer of the law, and simply bad acting.
We plead hardship, Your Honor. My client, Commando Cody, has more than paid his debt to society by being trapped in a pathetic serial.
Mr. Cody, your flying stunts may look realistic on the silver screen, but in fact they are nothing more than simple blue screen tricks. Nothing more than Hollywood hocus pocus hoo-ha.
Your Honor, I shall prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that Commando Cody is in fact real. I have here millions of letters delivered by the U.S. Postal Service who are never, or at least seldom, wrong. Hit it, Cambot!
I don't believe this.
Back in the theater, Tom reveals that he worked at a TV station, and if anywhere had film on the subject, it'd be them. Thankfully, despite the city being destroyed, the station is still in one piece, and still even has power, and they quickly find the film they're looking for. They watch several news broadcasts about the subject, and if there's something a good monster movie needs, it's 5 straight minutes of expositional newscasts. But it turns out they aren't the only survivors after all, as they're briefly attacked by looters, but they handle the people pretty easily and head outside when they encounter a slime person. They go into one of the other TV station buildings where they run into another guy, this one friendly, named Cal, who helps get them safe.
I'm a newscaster, sports mostly.
So I work with slime all the time.
Slime people.
1964, Robert Hutton, director. A Golan Globus production.
Why don't you put it on and skip to the end and we can all get out of here?
Dad?
I believe they are a form of animal life, but not from outer space.
Then where are they from?
The ones I saw came from underground, out of the sewers.
The sewers?
Yes.
But of course I'm flying right now, too.
And one...
But why have they attacked us?
It's mostly my fault, actually, and may I say how sorry I am?
Weapons.
Residents are warned not to leave their homes. Repeat, stay indoors until further notice.
Play board games or something. That one with the pictures is kind of fun. Huh?
It can't be. It's hardened. The fog is hardened. Somebody get in here, quick.
Unharden that man. What are you trying to do, make me look bad?
It's horrible. That's it. Everybody evacuate to the south or east. Evacuate immediately.
Well, that's the way it all began.
Pretty neat, huh?
Do you have any more?
It's Roger Ebert.
Look, Gene, I thought it was shoddy and manipulative, a shameless tearjerker. I give it a thumbs down.
I liked it, Roger. I thought that dancing was uplifting.
Who are they?
Critics.
Looters.
Over there.
Oh.
Oh, guys, it's just me, your old friend Joe. Oh, I have a staph infection and eczema, but hey, come on, guys, let me come with you. I'm not gonna kiss you, you know.
Hurry!
Fabian!
Okay, everybody, stop. Look scared. Move on. Thank you. Everybody, stop. Good.
Tom, do you think that'll hold him?
Don't worry, honey. I just hope we keep getting power.
Incidentally, my name's Calvin Johnson.
So what?
Call me Cal. Getting mighty unfair out there. Sure glad I ran into you.
I guess we're all lucky to be in here.
Yeah,
Well, in the
there's a lot of
meantime,
actors
please
who
be
aren't
my
even
guest.
working.
Tom tries to call over the intercom system to the looters that they fought off so they can watch out for themselves, but after telling him off for his kindness, they get attacked by a monster, all while our crew hears the slaughter. Tom decides they can try to escape by sending out their own broadcast to the airwaves. It's so optimistic that despite their city being a dystopia, he thinks that they could actually send this message out with little to no trouble. While on camera, Cal reveals that he was actually abandoned by his fellow Marines who just assumed he died and left him as the force field went up. Once the power surges, definitively ruining their chance for getting help, they start asking Cal for more details and decide the next day that they'll gather as many random chemicals as they can and will just try to find a weakness in the field. Cal volunteers to keep watch overnight, and it's about time for our obligatory monster movie romance to begin.
We left some looters behind in the projection room. They're no friends of mine, but at least we can warn them.
Hello, no friends of mine.
Barricade the doors. Get the seats up against them.
Shut up! Shut up!
Oh, it's Tom Waits on a bender.
Who are you?
Bobcat Goldthwait.
Well, so much for Police Academy 8.
Tickle machine, tickle machine.
Are we going to be on television?
Yes, but our Nielsen rating won't be very high.
Just relax, and I'll switch on the camera.
Now, has everyone swallowed their barium?
Oh, and let's all keep our fingers crossed, huh?
Professor, sing the theme song, and yes.
I'm a Marine.
I'd like to sing a medley of the King's greatest hits.
We're losing power fast.
Where's he going, Dad?
I think he's trying to conserve electricity.
There we go. I just rewired the entire studio.
The slime men were coming back, and all I saw was...
Oh, heck, I disgraced myself and ran
anyway,
like
the fog
crazy.
kept coming in all over.
Tomorrow, Cal can take us to where he first saw the wall.
Berlin?
Do you have a hall pass, Bonnie? I'll have to shoot you if you don't.
There is something I wanted to ask you. Did you have a boyfriend before all this happened?
Only Barrack
I had
14.
lots of dates, but there was no one special.
You know, just Elvis and, Jerry Lee.
He wouldn't have left anybody out there.
Am I just anybody?
I don't think so.
You're nobody.
Bonnie?
Can you field strip an M16?
You taste like root beer barrels.
You know, as long as you're sitting here, I don't even want to think about slime people.
Although it's hard looking at a mug like yours.
So far, the humans have had the advantage in this fight, with the slime people living in the sewers for the most part, since they need it to be cold and wet outside. Unfortunately, they must have splurged for the temperature-controlled fog force field, as they're making it colder so they can stay on the surface at all times, and our little gang here has a much stricter ticking clock on their hands. They split up, our little lovebirds grabbing some supplies for the doctor, while he, Tom, and Lisa head to his house to pick up stuff from the lab. And after he instantly figures out exactly how the monsters have been doing all this, guess he went to the same school as the Commando Cody scientists, we see that this movie gives us 2 overdone instantaneous romances for the price of 1.
Is it cooler than yesterday?
Yeah, I think it is. Does that mean that... Oh, no.
Yeah?
I hate when they do that.
They're trying to get a list of things here that we'll need. This, plus the chemicals that I'll get from the laboratory, will give us a start.
That's an awful lot, Dad.
It's an
Can we
awful
get it all
lot,
in one
Dad.
car? He'll need help with all that, Dad. I'll go with him.
All right, Bonnie. Take good care of it, Cal.
I will, sir. I promise.
That's what he's afraid of.
This wall that they've thrown around the city is evidently some sort of dome-like affair. Otherwise, we would have military planes bombing us from above.
Have you any idea how they make it?
Well, it's probably subcontracted out.
With some sort of... Oh, I'll get busy in the lab.
And we'll get busy in the kitchen. Oh, tasting my daughter, I see. Well, I'll just stare at these curtains.
Crow and Servo start questioning how this movie could possibly have gotten made, a question I often ask myself when watching the show, and Joel tells them that all you need to do is convince someone with resources that it's a good idea and you can make just about anything. They then go meta, with Servo suggesting a show that's basically their lives, when Joel tells them it would never go over. Little did they know how far they'd come in about 30 years.
I just don't understand why someone would spend so much time trying to make a movie that was obviously conjured up over lunch.
The thing is, you guys, the real beauty part of this movie is that it actually got made. You know, the guy who made it isn't a fool. He just convinced some people that it was worth making, you know, whether it was a good idea, or it could make money, or it satisfied some bizarre urge in the viewing public.
Oh, I see. So it's the gullibility of humans that allows things like this to exist.
I guess you're right, yeah.
Oh, well, I have a good idea for a show, then I'm sure it'll work. Okay, this guy gets stranded on a desert isle. He makes little mechanical friends from parts of his boat. Then all day long, they have to sit and watch reruns of bad TV shows, like Super Train or Greatest American Hero.
I don't think so. It's very illogical. It wouldn't fly.
Really?
Yeah.
Finally ready to try and take down the wall, the squatter then met with a pretentious crazy guy with a goat. Tom apparently knew him a little from work, and though it's obviously a terrible decision, they decide to take this clearly a liability guy with them, but they at least keep some sort of low standard by leaving the goat behind. They get to the wall as the fog thickens up, and eventually everyone but the loon end up out in the thick of things, and they catch the eyes of those twice mutated Ninja Turtles. At least, I think that's what's happening, but as you can see, we can't see much of anything. I guess the director thought the monsters are scary if we use our imaginations.
Tom Gregory, old chap.
Tom? Who's that?
The Goat Man.
Norman Tolliver. He's a great writer, but the biggest troublemaker I've ever known. Besides, I think he's a potential psycho.
Hi, I'm Goat Man.
Oh, would you mind assisting me with the only faithful old friend I have left in this world?
Sure, where is he?
Don't leave him, Tom.
Oh, all right, you lovable old coot. You little subplot. Come on.
It's the Thing from the Fantastic Four.
No, that's Artie Johnson.
Oh.
This is Kurt Gowdy. This week on the American Sportsman, we're hunting for slime people with DeForest Kelly.
There must be something that'll penetrate that wall, but what?
Maybe a hairpin.
But
You know, I can't tell, but I bet it's really action-packed under all this fog.
Real scary being chased by a giant crawdad.
Turns out Crazy Dude is an author and insists that they abandon him in a random building so he can start writing a book about this slime apocalypse. Too bad he was a little early for the current YA dystopian boom of the 2010s. Of course, he soon realizes how idiotic that is, as they're in danger, though I'm not sure how, since we still can't see anything. But they all scramble away in the car and end up at a butcher's shop. The melted Swedish fish just busts through the windows, and they all head into a giant refrigerator, except for the psychotic writer, who actually does more than any of them by actually attempting to shoot the things before getting killed or eaten or whatever the heck these creatures are supposed to be doing. After losing the superfluous character, the Doctor and Tom start making some plans, while Cal and Bonnie do some planning of their own, and head out by themselves together, since this could just be called Poor Choices, the movie.
Hey, kid, drop me off anywhere here.
drop Mr. Tolliver off.
And don't slow down.
Why are we stopping here? Neurotic or not, it's what he wants. Tolliver! Come on, nobody's home. Genius waits for no one.
But stupidity hammers on deserted buildings.
Huh? What?
Boy, I bet that'd be scary if we could make out what it was.
What the? Oh my gosh, we're out of gas.
Oh, sure, that old trick. He wants to make out with the whole family.
Make a run for it.
Oh my goodness, tip roast is 79 cents.
Come on, back
Well,
here.
of course it's high. It is the apocalypse, you know.
Oh man, you got glass in the kielbasa.
They're after real low prices. Has-been actors, 79 cents. Juicy 18-year-olds, $3.95 a pound.
Well, at least now there'll be plenty of ham steak.
Looks like Tolliver is this week's special.
Fear killed Tolliver.
Oh, I thought it was those big guys in the costumes.
Ooh, what a snap. What is that stuff?
It's the rest of the movie.
I'll go with you.
No. You stay here. And don't tell them I've gone. They just come round.
Why should I just sit here and not do anything either?
Because you're a pawn in a much larger game.
But you stay close to me all the time.
If he starts singing, "Oh, what a beautiful morning," I'm gonna lose it.
Once they realize the duo somehow slipped out of a one-room refrigerator, the others start fretting, and Cal and Bonnie prove their fears to be rational, since Bonnie doesn't make it 15 yards out of the building before being captured by one of the mucus-coated beasts. But they don't kill her for some unexplained and convenient reason. Cal and Tom go searching in the fog, and despite the monster's head start, these two are a couple of real-life Aragorns as they pick up the trail pretty quick.
Kids, do not play on, in, or around dumpsters.
Behind you.
Hey, white trash meets real trash.
Tom, let's go and find them, please.
No, you stay here. You work in the car, both of you. It makes more sense that way. Honey, hand me that gun, huh?
Stay up at the counter in case we have some customers.
You be careful.
Shut up, I'm your daddy now.
Now look, we've got to find their trail. Footprints, slime, anything.
Discarded Kleenex, antihistamines, neosynephrine. Keep looking.
Come on, baby, we could have a nice life together. These scales aren't so bad once you get used to them.
Honestly, Bonnie, the slime you bring home.
Look at this. Blonde hair.
Yeah, you can usually find a blonde hair in a field of wheat.
At night.
In a fog.
So we'll wait.
Oh, it's a good thing they don't have eyes on the back of their exoskeletons.
Out on deck, the SOL has been filled with fog by Crow and Servo in an effort to spook Joel, who of course sees right through them. They then question the logic of the slime people and their limited intelligence, with Joel telling them, as usual, that with some films, you just gotta let things go.
What's with all this smoke? Get up here, you guys. Did you put a crack in the bipolar defrockulator or something?
Joel, what's the matter, Joel? You scared?
No, I'm not scared. I just wonder what all this smoke's about. Come on. I'm not scared, but I just gotta know what's going on.
Well, the truth is, Joel, we rigged Gypsy's thermal conducer tube to create big, billowy clouds of terrifying slime smoke. Pretty funny, huh?
Yeah, well, you guys have to learn there's nothing scary about a bunch of out-of-work actors parading around with papier-mâché skin conditions.
Yeah, say, Joel,
Yeah.
how come they have a machine that can create a solid rock-like wall out of fog, but they can't create, say, a gun?
Well, Crow, it's simple. It's easy to understand because it's just a movie.
Oh, yeah.
The guys find Bonnie and head back to the fridge, actually finding the monster's fog machine along the way. Once they return, everyone decides to take buckets of salt solution and head to the weakest spot they can find in the wall. Yes, Doc ended up coming to the conclusion that out of all the things in the universe they could try to use to destroy this thing, that salt water must be the most efficient. Anyway, after minutes of silent walking, they start rubbing down the wall, which they don't let us, the humble viewers, see for all the fog, and Tom figures it's pointless and wants to go try and foul up the machine that all the fog's coming from instead. Though the others protest, Tom wants to go all lone wolf hero on them and heads out by himself.
Grab the lance and get the cap.
Here you go.
Believe me, it works.
Great.
It's a good thing she's the only human they didn't kill.
Look at that.
I told you we should have put the campfire out.
The machine that makes the wall.
It's the Play-Doh Fun Factory.
I think that we found their machine.
The machine that makes the wall? What did it look like? Were there any dials, any levers, anything we could reverse to break the wall?
The slime men were coming back and we had to leave.
All I saw
Turned and
was
ran
a
again, huh?
Large, soft... Wait a minute, Cal. How much salt do we have? 2 buckets of solution.
And a lot of
Well,
those
they'll
little
have to
tiny
do. We haven't
takeout
got much
packets.
time. No.
Oh, criminally, Joel. What is this, the Baton Death March?
I think it's the Baton Death Watch.
All right, now make some of those sticks. Keep them well soaked in this solution and apply them to this area right here.
Your thighs?
I'm going after the machine.
Tom, you can't.
Honey, I have to.
The end of the movie depends on it.
Cover me from the rig. Stay here and fire if you run into any trouble.
Wouldn't it be weird if they just cleaned off the camera lens and all that fog went away?
You know, you better let me go. You may run into trouble.
Oh, you really think I might? Like these last 2 hours didn't count as trouble?
Despite staying behind, the others get into trouble, and Cal goes head-to-head with a slime person, eventually winning by simply rolling it down a hill. I bet that could have been at least mildly interesting if we could have seen it! They go to find Tom and see that he couldn't even last 3 minutes before getting attacked by 2 Creature of the Black Lagoon wannabes. Cal goes to help him, and in the chaos, the doctor wrecks the machine. The fog clears up instantly, and the monsters start dropping dead as the wall disappears and the army flies in. And the doctor and both of our happy couples drive off in a jeep. The unsatisfying end.
Get back! I'll take care of them.
Well, it looks like Mr. Slime Monster really came to play. Remember, folks, he's battling with a bad head cold.
Oh, look at that, a blistering backhand. Oh, look at this. Cal is clearly unfamiliar with the subterranean rules. Proves my point, though. Slime people have no traction.
All right, batter up.
Oh, a vicious, slimy ride.
Looks like more like one of the first costumes that didn't work out right.
It's angry.
They're trying to freeze us into another wall.
It's the Matmos.
Whoa, like popping a zit, boys.
Come on, you big lovable. Huh?
Now that the fog has lifted, those slime people are about as scary as Teddy Ruxpin.
Are you all right?
Sure. But look at them.
A horse, my kingdom for a... Ah!
Killing them.
You know what I'm going to do when we get home?
Huh?
What's that?
Buy gallons and gallons of salt and save it for a foggy day.
Funny. Oh,
Let's hope we
cute.
never have to use.
Dad, you don't suppose they could come back?
I hardly think so, but who knows? Perhaps there are other, even stranger creatures underground.
Thank you, Mr. Optimist.
Come on, let's get out of here.
The Love Jeep.
And to close us out, Joel starts baking for some reason, Gypsy pops in for a quick gag, they read a letter, and Servo is noticeably nowhere to be seen.
You know, Crow, I can always remember back on Earth the way the house was filled with the smells of Mom's home cooking.
You mean your mom would cook your home?
No, Crow, it's just an expression. I thought it'd be fun today to make a silicone diode pie with a light rectifier crust.
Oh,
okay?
you're gonna put resistors in it
Yeah,
again?
got some right here.
Yuck.
heat up your crystal chamber for 20,000 degrees. And we'll put that in. And I made one earlier I want to show you. Have it ready for the show here. It's right here cooling on the windowsill.
Wow.
Oh man, Gypsy, she ate almost half of it.
Yeah, and the other half's on her mouth.
This episode is better than Robot Monster, that's for sure, and the fourth wall-breaking host segment was definitely a highlight for me since I love that kind of stuff. There was also a great reference to how physically rough Joel has been with the bots throughout this season.
Hey, Joel, are they in the Smoky Mountains?
No.
On top of Old Smoky?
No.
Smack him, Joel.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, you would.
While I still like The Corpse Vanishes the best so far, and I think the fact that that movie's actually kind of interesting certainly helps it, this episode is a very high-ranking one of the season for me. From having one of my favorite host segments we've seen so far, to some great one-liners and quite a few laughs for me, especially for a Season 1 venture, I'd say this episode is totally worth a shot. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and special thanks to all my fantastical Patreon supporters, including Jackie Ball, Kevin Nata, and Jill Johnson, and I hope everyone enjoyed the video. And remember, only 2 videos from now, I'll be premiering my 100th video, and it's a pretty special one. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys later.
Here, we better get out of here.
Bye, guys. I'll meet you back at the lodge.